I wanted to ask you about the latent value that already exists in monetizing zero-rated spots. Could you explain what that means and what you guys are doing there?
Absolutely. So when people think about convergence, they often think about the convergence of technology. So how do you converge what's going on in the digital space alongside what's going on in the offline space on the big screen in your living room? The one point that they often miss is, and is actually the biggest obstacle towards the availability of addressability in programmatic linear spots, is the convergence of data. And what I mean by that is, in the TV, the traditional TV space, typically a panel-based system is used to measure audiences, but it's not just used to measure the audiences, it's also used as a trading currency for those audiences. And so you get this concept of a zero-rated television spot, essentially where the spot, there's not enough audience behind that spot for it to have a value as far as the panel is concerned. When you bring programmatic technology into the space, however, of course you can identify who that audience is, and you can identify the person behind each individual spot. And if you can do that, then you can give it a value, because suddenly you understand the audience. Today, there's a lot of zero-rated inventory out there through OTT channels, and actually on the traditional linear approach itself. What programmatic technology can do is obviously make that available for trading against audiences, and therefore there's an immediate revenue and margin opportunity for broadcasters to take hold of today.
So how big is that audience? Is it a niche, or what's the opportunity, and how much inventory are we talking about, and where might that go?
Yeah, so there's kind of a common misconception today that actually addressability is all about niche audiences. It's all about, being able to go to, for example, luxury car brands and have them, who would be new to TV advertisers. The addressability is all about bringing these new advertisers to television. And listen, that's absolutely an opportunity, and we've seen some of the more pioneering broadcasters and platforms in Europe take that approach to start getting some traction for addressable TV. However, just being able to bring data, it's not just about niche audiences. It's about bringing data to much larger audiences and understanding the relationship between those audiences and outcomes for TV advertisers. And so that's really what it's all about.
And what about the sort of the disparate and not aligned deployment of tech and data? We hear a lot of that here, and we see it on the floor. What does that mean, and for the sell side, for the broadcasters?
Yeah, I mean, really what it means is, in each individual market, particularly across Europe, we see lots of different technology approaches to trying to make addressable TV a reality. So, we see one approach in the UK, we see a slightly different approach in France than we see in Germany. And a lot of those things are determined by two main factors. One, the availability and understanding of data. And really that's at the basis for all addressability, whether it's on TV or not. What we've seen in markets like the UK, there's been a very progressive attitude towards the collection of data, the understanding of data, and then of course the application of data for advertising. In markets like France and Germany, and actually the Netherlands as well, what you see is a combination of local legislation making it very difficult or very complex for broadcasters to both collect data and use it, or something else along those lines. And what that ultimately means is that you need a different solution in order to enable addressability with a TV, whether that's using a different type of third-party technology or a different approach entirely. An example of that, I would say, would be somewhere like Germany, where we've seen the growth of HbbTV and the use of HbbT for addressability, because they don't yet have the opportunity to use data and replace linear ad spots. And of course, a completely different infrastructure as far as set-top boxes are concerned. So there are a number of reasons why, we see these different approaches in different markets across Europe. I think we're going to continue to see that, but it certainly makes the process of creating standards around addressability that much more difficult for broadcasters.